Live on a Tuesday afternoon after a heartbreaking loss for the Cleveland Guardians in downtown Cleveland. Welcome to the Bullpen. I'm Adam the Bull, and we're brought to you by Bet Rivers. I told you I'd be on immediately after the game, and here we are about 7 minutes after the game ended. It ends in absolute heartbreak. I know everybody's pissed. I'm going to look at the comments. Everybody's going to be screaming and yelling. We're going to be yelling about the lineup again, which we stopped doing for a few weeks. We're going to yell about Jose's base running. I'll get into that because I got no problem with what he did. I think he did the right thing. We'll get to that, even though it didn't matter. The defense, we'll get to all of it. There's the final score. Tigers win 2-1. Tarek School, we got to give him credit. He was absolutely fantastic in this game. So was Gavin Williams. Gavin goes 6+ innings, gives up 2 unearned runs, and that's the story of this game. 5 hits, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. Tarek Skubal, 7 2/3, 6 base runners, 3 hits, 3 walks, 1 run, and 14 strikeouts. I would not have pulled him in that 8th inning, but they got away with it in that situation. So let's go through the key moments in this game because all down the stretch as the Guardians are winning game after game after game. And by the way, we all understand what the lineup is. We know it's not good. Don't go over the top on the lineup today. I mean, even the best lineups don't do much against Tarek Skubal. You know, they got 1 less hit than the Tigers did. Sometimes you got to give a little credit to the pitcher. He was phenomenal. We all know their lineup's not great, but we knew that for the last 4 weeks when we've been saying how amazing they are. So take it down a notch a little bit. Although grieve however you want to grieve. I am far from ready to say this series is over. I feel very good that the Guardians are going to win games 2 and 3, but we'll see. But let's go to the key moments in this game. All right. First inning, Gavin gets the first 2 outs with no problem, Meadows and Torres. Kerry Carpenter then gets a base hit. And on the play, Jonathan Rodriguez makes an error. I had to go back and watch it because I was driving home from the studio, so I didn't get to see it till later. But you just can't have those type of mistakes. And then Torkelson, of course, comes through, gets a base hit. If it weren't for the error, it's probably first and second there, maybe first and third. You know, who knows? But because of the error, Carpenter is able to score on the play. Green strikes out to end the inning. It's an unearned run, even though they did get 2 hits. Next key moment in this game, not really the second inning when the Guardians had their first base runner there. I'll say the next key moment in the game is the 3rd inning, where Gavin Williams was in a little bit of trouble. He gave up a base hit to Javi Baez. He then walked Parker Meadows, and he was 3-0 to Gleyber Torres. I mean, he was in trouble. He was 3-0 to Torres. He comes back, gets him to ground into a double play on a 3-2 pitch, gets out of it by striking out Carpenter. That was a great job in that inning. Guardians do nothing in the 3rd. Tigers nothing in the 4th. Then in the bottom of the 4th, it was one of those Guardians innings, right? Ground infield single. Jose walks. Rodriguez, who already killed him in the 1st with the error, then strikes out in a big spot. Manzardo strikes out in a big spot. Then Arias hits a chopper up the middle. Skubal grabs it like halfway between the mound and second base, fires home. They call Angel Martinez out. He was obviously safe. Fortunately, they did overturn the call. I don't know what the ump. I mean, the ump's right there. It seemed pretty obvious that he was safe. But anyway, they do get the run. So the Guardians tie it at 1. Unfortunately, Rocchio. So Rocchio comes up, and then after that, with runners at 1st and 3rd and 2 outs. And honestly, you know, we talk about the defense killing you. The Guardians just played a sloppy game, period. This was, we'll get to the Ramirez thing. But Rocchio with 2 outs and runners at the corners, when you just tie the game, trying to bunt his way on, I get that he's like thinking he could bunt for a hit. But like, that's just stupid. I don't like that at all. I think that was a terrible at-bat by Brian Rocchio. You know, the odds of getting a bunt hit in that situation are not very good. I actually want to watch the play again because I'm like, you know, guys don't bunt much. There's no, the days of, Kenny Lofton and Brett Butler and all these guys that could bunt and do things like Brian Rocchio. You're not some bunting genius. Let me watch the play again. I mean, it's just a terrible bunt. He bunts it up in the air. He just didn't. It's awful. And, who knows? I mean, to say he would have gotten a 2-out hit off of Skubal, not that likely, but I hate the bunt there. I thought that was terrible. Tigers get a 2-out hit in the 5th, but nothing doing there. Guardians go quietly in the bottom of the 5th. Same for the Tigers in the top of the 6th and the Guardians at the bottom of the 6th. Now, the 7th inning, we're tied despite the error by Rodriguez, the lack of good at bats from Rodriguez and Manzardo with 2 on. And by the way, on that RBI, on that play where Arias reaches on the infield single and Jose scores, or not Jose, Martinez scores, that was great base running by Angel Martinez. I don't know that a lot of guys would have been flying around the base. You would have thought, the inning's over, ground ball. Maybe you're not running your fastest. That was great. He had to be full bore. So Riley Green leads off the 7th with a double. Wenceel Perez then hits a hard ground ball to John Kenzie Noel. To me, first of all, a good first baseman makes that play. But then even when he misses it, it bounces over to Rocchio. Rocchio makes the throw, and John Kenzie's foot slides off the base. I mean, you want to kill the Guardians for not having a guy who played defensive first base well. No, I'm killing John Kenzie Noel. You're a professional athlete. You've played first base plenty. Make the fucking play. Make the fucking play. Keep your damn foot on the base. You haven't hit all year. For fuck's sake, make the play. But he doesn't. So instead of runner on third, 1 out, it's first and third, nobody out. Now, Gaddis strikes out Gavin Williams. Strikes out to replace Gavin Williams. He struck out Dylan Dingler. So now it's first and third, 1 out. It should have been runner on third, 2 out. And they score the only other run on the great sack bunt. Talk about a good bunt. McKinstry, the great sack bunt. The only play for Noel was at first. He thought about home for a second, but once you think about it, it's too late. I don't think he was going to get him anyway. But, we'll never know what would have happened if John Kenzie hadn't botched that play at first. But the odds are the Guardians would not have given up a run that inning, and it would have been a totally different game because McKinstry wouldn't have been bunting in that situation with a runner on third and 2 outs. And, you never know. He's an okay player. He could have gotten a hit, but I'd say the odds are pretty good that Gaddis would have been able to get McKinstry out. Instead, he knocks in the run to make it 2-1. Guardians go 1-2-3 on strikeouts in the 7th. Nothing doing for the Tigers in the 8th. Then in the 9th, John Kenzie has done nothing offensive pitching, nothing in the field. He strikes out. Austin Hedges, I give him credit. I'm always hard on Austin Hedges. But I thought he had a couple of really good at-bats in this game to draw walks for Hedges. To draw 2 walks against Skubal was pretty impressive. Then they run Petey Halpin for him. Unfortunately, Stephen Kwan grounds out. They really needed him in that spot to come through. He didn't. So it's 2 outs and a runner on first. They take out Skubal. I thought they got away with it, obviously. I thought that was terrible. I would never have taken Skubal out of that situation. I would have even considered throwing him in the 9th, even if he was on 110, 115 pitches to win this game. But certainly I would have let him finish the 8th. And they bring in, but it worked. Will Vest comes in, gets Bo Naylor to ground out. I know it's a routine. I don't know if any of this bothered anybody else. I understand it's a routine play when Naylor. So Naylor grounds out to Torkelson to end the 8th. And it's a routine ground ball to first base. It's, 999 times out of 1,000, it's going to be a routine out. But almost immediately, Bo Naylor breaks it down and starts jogging to first base. Can somebody explain to me why? There's always a chance that the first baseman, even after he fields the ball, you never know what could happen. He could drop it. I understand it's unlikely, but what else do you have to do besides run hard down the first base line? It's little things like that piss me off. They never bring those things up in the broadcast, ever. Run to fucking first base. You're a professional baseball player. You've been sitting on your ass the whole game. I understand he would have been out, but you never know. I don't think it's much to ask the player to run his ass to first base. But whatever. Top of the ninth, Cade Smith comes in, hits Torkelson, walks Green, and sack bunt, but then he got out of it. Great play by Rocchio defensively to catch that soft, pop-up from Dingler, and then McKinstry strikes out to end it. Then we go to the bottom of the ninth. Vest stays in the game, right? Jose rips a ball up the middle. And I want to see the play again because I didn't go back. I didn't watch the replay of it to see if it was Torres's fault. Well, they gave the error to Baez, not Torres. If it was Baez's fault or if Torkelson should have been able to corral it. I was so caught up in Jose running around the bases that I never went back and watched whose fault it was. So Jose just ripped that ball up. It was a great stop by Baez. The throw's in the dirt. Torkelson probably should have scooped that. I think Jose might have been safe anyway. Let me go back and watch that. Would Jose have been safe? Let's see. Oof, too close. I got to watch it like 10 times, I think. Would he have been safe? I think he would have been out. They gave it a hit. He might have been out. Who knows? They scored it a hit. But then the ball gets by, and Jose, as he always does, great base running to get all the way to third. So at this point, I'm completely convinced the Guardians are tying this game. Completely convinced. Runner on third, nobody out. George Valera comes up, not a great at-bat, swung at some really bad pitches. I know it's a tough pitcher. He seemed a little over-anxious in that spot. And then the play that I'm sure has stoked up a little controversy, and I went and watched the replay again. I'm going to watch it one more time to see if I can see here. So Manzardo hits a chopper back to the mound, and Jose's taken off. Right, my man Mikey McNuggets is like, that's terrible base running by Jose, and I'm like, it's not terrible base running, and I want to see if in the replay I could see. Yeah, they don't show Jose when he leaves the base, but to me, with one out in the inning, he's got to go on contact, and unfortunately, if he doesn't go, right, and Vest bobbles the ball, then you missed an opportunity there. So I think once it's one out, like if that was nobody out, terrible base running. But with one out, Jose's got to run on contact. And you just hope that the pitcher bobbles the ball, drops the ball, whatever. Because even if they throw him out, Jose was trying to stay a rundown to at least get Manzardo to second, right? So the hope is that even if I'm out, well, it's 2 outs. We'll have at least a runner on second. I get it if there was a wild pitch or something that would have cost them. But I think it's easy to say because everybody's angry now that Jose did the wrong thing. I don't agree with that. I'll stand by this. Jose had to go on contact. It just was unfortunate. And it ends up, and in the end, it didn't matter. I mean, I guess, if there was a runner on third, maybe it's a different at-bat. Who knows? But C.J. Kafis pinch hits, and it's a soft pop-up to short left field, and Javi Baez catches it, and that's it. So, listen, you can start screaming and yelling about the front office, about the lineup, all these things, and I did it all year, and I said that I was not going to do it again until the season was over, especially when most offenses look bad against Tarek Skubal. When Tarek Skubal's on, he's the best pitcher in baseball. End of conversation. He was the best pitcher in baseball tonight. He was absolutely lights out. Absolutely. I mean, you look at the hits he gave up. He gave up, an infield hit to Martinez, an infield hit to a bloop hit to right field from Manzardo, and an infield hit to Arias. I mean, he was completely lights out. That's more about him than the lineup, even though the lineup's not very good. We all know that. All right, so now you got to bounce back. You got to go get game 2. There's been 14 series in these 3 games of variety. The team that won the first game has won the second game 12 of the 14 times. The Guardians need to be, obviously, the first team that does not lose game 2, and I feel good about it. It'll be Casey Mize and Tanner Bybee in the pitching matchup in Game 2. I think Bybee has the edge. And listen, after Skubal, everybody's a piece of cake. There's just no comparison. By the way, for those of you who may be interested in such things, and I'm sure you are if you're watching this, I will be back on later today at a time to be determined. I would say sometime between 6 and 7. Zach Meisel and I will have an Ultimate Cleveland Guardians show. So when I'm done here in a few minutes, if you haven't had enough of my Guardians coverage, we'll have more, and we'll get Zach's thoughts. I'll be curious to see if he disagrees with me on the Ramirez play in the 9th. I'll read a few chats. I'm sorry if I miss you, but there's so many that I just can't get to them all. That's because so many people are watching now, and I appreciate it. RDY70 says Gavin Williams was awesome today. That he was. He did his part. He did all he could. B. Skrill, so far the Padres up 1-0. That is correct. 1-0 Padres, bottom of the 4th in Wrigley. For those who care about such things, I predicted the Padres would sweep. Thought the Cubs bats would struggle. So far they have. Outside of Nico Horner. Red Sox Yankees at 6:08. Reds Dodgers at 9:08. Shad Sedell can't put Valera up in that spot. Bad managing. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Your choices were Valera, Kafis, and who else could you put up there? You could have put up Chase DeLauder. You're not going to put him up there. Kafis doesn't have that much more experience. You were going to have a young player either way. You want to put up Schneemann there? I guess. I didn't think about Schneemann. I got no problem with them going with Valera. He's done a good job. It's not like Schneemann's got obviously got more experience than the other guys. You're right. But I'm completely fine with Valera. Didn't work out. David says anything in the playoffs is icing on the cake. Forrest Reed, bad defense from the swing and miss brothers, Johnny Rocket and Big Noel. Abdul says Noel is trash. The Cockmeister. Why didn't we bunt in the 9th with Jose on 3rd with 0 outs? Who's saying? You guys must be hearing that because 2 people have said bunting. You going to do a suicide squeeze with a runner on 3rd? I mean, you got to be perfect in that situation. We're all fucking heartbroken. This one sucks. Sucks. Ethan, when will Kwan start hitting again? Well, it better start happening tomorrow. I said it on UCSS. If the Guardians are going to make a big run, Ramirez has got to be great. Kwan's got to be really good. And they got to hit more home runs than we expect. None of those things happened today. I mean, Jose got a hit, and he got a walk. That wasn't good enough. The defense was bad. The Rocchio decision to bunt with 2 outs in 3rd early, after they scored the 1 run was bad. Hey, Bull, says Finey. Is there a team in MLB who could more benefit from a free agent like Pete Alonso than the Guardians? Oops, I was dreaming for a second. Yeah, I mean, I know they have a lot of first base DH types. Pete Alonso would be a great fit on the Guardians. He's a perfect cleanup hitter. Could play him at first. And Manzardo at DH. And then hopefully DeLauder in right. Bazan at second. We'll see about shortstop. Still not sold on either Arias or Rocchio. Pete Alonso would be an amazing fit. I think there's about a 1% chance of that happening, and I may be high on that. All right, folks. I love you all. Thanks so much for joining me today. Please, please, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I know this one hurts, Chris. But they're going to bounce back. I feel really good about it. Stay with me. Stay with them. Stay with me. Believe in this team. And remember, none of us thought we'd be here. Keep that in mind. And if they don't do it, then we'll start killing the front office again for this shitty offense. But for now, give them a little time. If they win tomorrow, we'll feel good about Game 3. I'll be on again later today with Zach Jackson. I was on with Zach Jackson this morning. Later today with Zach Meisel on the Ultimate Guardian Show. Back with a live podcast right here with Bet Rivers tomorrow after Game 2, and if necessary, it better be necessary after Game 3. Don't jump in the lake yet. Stay tough, stay strong. Thanks to Alex and Z for producing. Thanks to all of you for watching and listening. I'll see you later today, and I'll see you back on the podcast tomorrow. Where else but right here. Before we go, wait. I got to tell you about to get extra value this summer with prop packs exclusively at Bet Rivers. Opt into the prop packs promotion for your chance to earn profit boosts, bonus credits, and more when you place MLB same-game parlays. You can do it tonight. See the Bet Rivers app for full details and tear into the action. I'll talk to you all later today and tomorrow. Bye, everybody.